The Andes Mountains, majestic, unforgiving, eternal. In 1972, they became a silent witness to tragedy, testing the limits of human endurance. A plane, carrying a Uruguayan rugby team, crashed into their icy grip. Stranded, injured, and surrounded by the unforgiving wilderness, the survivors faced a harrowing ordeal. Their fight for survival became a testament to the strength of the human spirit. 45 passengers, mostly young rugby players, boarded the Fairchild FH-227D in Montevideo, Uruguay. Excitement filled the air. They were heading to Chile for a match, their dreams soaring higher than the plane. Laughter and camaraderie echoed through the cabin. They were a team, united in their passion for rugby and the bonds of friendship. The plane climbed, leaving behind the familiar coastline. Below, the world transformed into a tapestry of greens and browns. The Andes, a formidable presence in the distance, grew closer with each passing moment. Little did they know, their playground in the sky was about to become a battleground for survival. The laughter turned to uneasy silence as the plane entered a zone of turbulence. The aircraft bucked and swayed, a toy tossed about by unseen hands. Fear crept in, gripping the hearts of the passengers. Outside, the majestic peaks of the Andes loomed, no longer a distant spectacle but an ominous presence. A deafening roar ripped through the air as the plane slammed into a mountainside. Metal shrieked, luggage flew, and the world dissolved into a chaotic whirlwind of snow and debris. When the chaos subsided, an eerie silence descended, broken only by the groans of the injured and the disorientation of the survivors. Section 4, Aftermath. The once proud aircraft lay shattered, a mangled carcass swallowed by the unforgiving snow. Inside, amidst the twisted metal and scattered belongings, survivors stirred. Disoriented, injured, and terrified, they emerged into a world transformed. Gone was the camaraderie, replaced by the stark reality of their situation. They were stranded, high in the Andes, miles from civilization. The chilling air stung their lungs, and the vastness of the mountains weighed heavily upon their hearts. Hope, fragile and flickering, was all that stood between them and despair. Section 5. The cold reality. The initial shock gave way to the harsh realities of their situation. They were stranded at over 11,000 feet, surrounded by a frozen wasteland. Supplies were meager, consisting only of a few snacks and bottles of wine. The cold, a relentless enemy, seeped into their bones, threatening to extinguish the flickering flame of their hope. They huddled together for warmth amidst the wreckage, using whatever they could find to insulate themselves from the biting wind. Hunger gnawed at their bellies, and thirst parched their throats. The crash had claimed lives, and the survivors mourned their lost comrades, their grief amplified by the unforgiving environment. Section 6. The will to survive. As days turned into nights, the survivors clung to life. The will to survive, primal and insistent, pulsed within them. They scavenged the wreckage for anything that could be of use: clothing, plastic, anything to provide minimal protection from the elements. They melted snow for water, their bodies craving sustenance. Leadership emerged from the chaos, guiding their actions and bolstering their spirits. They rationed their meager supplies, knowing that every crumb, every drop, could be the difference between life and death. The mountains, once a symbol of fear, now represented a challenge, a test of their resilience. Section 7. Beyond the limits. Days turned into weeks. Hope, once a beacon, began to flicker. The cold was relentless, their bodies weakened by hunger and dehydration. The psychological toll of their ordeal was immense. They were trapped in a frozen wasteland, their fate hanging by a thread. Yet, even in the face of unimaginable hardship, the human spirit refused to be extinguished. They drew strength from each other, their bonds of friendship and shared experience forging an unbreakable link. They knew their survival depended on unity, on their ability to push beyond the limits of human endurance. In Part 2, we shall look at how the team survived for 2 months with just snacks and ice.